My name's James Budd from KSS. I was the director on the Twickenham Stadium project. We've undertaken a whole series of projects with the RFU over a number of years, a variety of projects including things like the players changing and also enhanced a number of the suites elsewhere within the stadium. But what we were tasked with this major expansion at Twickenham was actually providing accommodation for what were off-site licensed operators, or OLOs, where traditionally hospitality guests would actually be catered for off-site, to actually bring them actually into the stadium environment and complex, such that they had a much enhanced experience, both from an arrival, also from a facility, but also the actual timing of seat to suite, as we call it, was actually significantly reduced, because I think a fundamental part of Twickenham is that whole experience, when you arrive, how you're greeted, as well as the whole sports itself. So the whole project was really developed through providing both these enhanced facilities, but also additional facilities for some of the debenture holders. What that led us to do was actually look at where that could be located within the stadium complex, and we fairly early developed the concept that we would actually locate everything on the east stand itself. Traditionally, Twickenham was actually developed very much in a anti-clockwise, so it was the east stand followed by the north and south, and finally the south stand. So we thought, again, it was quite a nice narrative that in order to actually bring all these hospitality guests actually into complex, that we would start that whole journey again of developing on the east stand, significantly expanding towards Rugby Road, and then actually evolving it gradually around the north stand. We work very, very closely with the RFU and all their project stakeholders, which included Keith Prowse and Compass, in terms of actually working out what was the right mix of hospitality. So that comes down to the square meterage per person, comes down to the catering offer. It also comes down to the seat and its seat's location. So as you can imagine, there's quite a complex matrix of different facts and figures that you need to balance together to get the optimum. And as part of that piece, we actually looked at a whole series of tiering of those hospitalities. So up on level 5A, we have the Rose Garden, which is one of the entry-level hospitality offers. And at the moment, we're in the level 4A East Wing, which is super premium, and it's the highest level. So within this facility, you not only have a top package, but you've also got some of the best seats of the house in terms of their actual rugby viewing experience in a whole package, and then obviously the after-match experience as well. So I think what we were looking at within the actual design was, within those tier points, within those price points, completely different experiences. Some were quite luxurious, some were very sort of quite solid and hard, and others had a lot stronger rugby experience, but getting a really good mix. So on a match day, they had a personality, and on a non-match day, there were lots of opportunities also for the RFU to actually generate a non-match day business case for the development. I think we had a very good relationship with the RFU in terms of how the project was actually handled. So we had a steering group which met on a monthly basis, and everybody, the chief executive and all the key project stakeholders and sponsors were actually present in those. So everybody was always aware of all the details and all the information. But in terms of time frame, you're absolutely right. I mean, we had a long stop date of the 2019 Rugby World Cup. So this year there will be no internationals actually within the stadium in autumn. So we had to be finished, ready for the autumns in 2018. So that was one long stop. We actually started the project in earnest in the January of 2016. So working with the other members of the consultant and contractor team, we actually came up with a procurement strategy of driving a shell and core first, followed by a fit-out package, which sort of followed on for that one. And I think that was a fundamental approach in order to actually be able to deliver this in such a short period of time. The other crucial element is that, being a live venue, both for Metallica have just had a concert here, and obviously throughout the rugbies and the Sevens, the Army and Navy, and the various other varsity matches and Premiership finals, there are events throughout the season. So what we had to do is look at a construction methodology and procurement whereby whatever happens within such a short period of time, we could keep all those business and those events running, but at the same time build a very, very comprehensive extension to Twickenham. I mean, in a way, slightly different, because the return on investment was very much linked to the ticketing piece with Keith Prowse, and as I said, developing the right offer for the ticket points in order to look at what the return investment to the RFU would be. And I think, really from a customer experience, the fundamental was to actually, as I said earlier, it was to have a whole range of different areas where we've got different areas within the stand to sit. So whether it's Rose Garden linked to elevated views from the centre line on the upper tier, or whether it's the gate, which is a completely different offer to the space we're in at the moment. Very much a darker space, very, but the whole movement of people from this dark space actually through brand new vomitories which we created into the lower tier, then out into the light and into the stadium environment. I mean, a great experience and a great but different customer experience. We have double aspect space here, looking out over London to the east, and we have views directly onto the magnificent Twickenham pitch, looking westward. So again, looking at all the different opportunities that the stadium could offer and how we could best, with the what was a fixed budget, how we could actually provide the best offer within those constraints. I think one of the creative challenges is, or one of the main creative challenges is that where you have a budget and a fixed budget, which is linked to return on investment, you have to do your best to actually, obviously design within it, but to actually really look at, I think we're looking at touch points and key areas where you could spend more money but create a something which is jaw-dropping, it's sort of really exciting as a spark, and then really look at where money is best spent to achieve those bits which people remember, and the more general areas to actually keep the cost down. So I think for us, one of the key things was where to spend it, where to get the best value from the money and our design, and really look at materials and the design quality, the type of space we're creating, the type of environment we're creating, to actually really maximise the experience for the rugby fan. Yeah, I think it's great for KSS and the whole team at KSS to hear that. I think we all went in, that's ourselves and the RFU, went into basically what is a new initiative in terms of sports hospitality. There is nothing like this around at the moment. I think it sets a new bar that a lot of venues will be looking to achieve. And I think for all of us, it was great that we were bringing this whole new experience both to Twickenham but also to the rugby fans, where traditionally a lot of the facilities for the general fans are either external out in the West Car Park, or up in the North Car Park, or the limited concourses. Actually, we're providing a completely new offer and a new environment where people can really enjoy enjoy a day out watching the rugby.